So good morning, everybody. Do me a favor, invite somebody to share. You can see to the right of the screen that tomorrow at 11 to 12, there's going to be a virtual. Um, we're going to go live and talk about some of the precautions that the students need to take in terms of school. Some things parents need to know. We have medical professionals, a medical professional. We also have some other people that's going to join us on a panel to educate you, give you some insight. And that's going to be tomorrow morning from 11 to 12 noon. From 12 noon to 2 p.m., we're going to be giving away backpacks. This event is sponsored by Project Earbud. Anthony Fred Webster, many of you know him, my little brother. He is sponsoring this event. His nonprofit is sponsoring this event. Of course, I teamed up with them, and we're going to be giving away free backpacks. And that's going to be tomorrow from 12 to 2. You won't have to get out of your cars. You can just do a drive-through, and it's going to be at a Taste of Miami. Taste of Miami is 1440 Dunn Avenue, Jacksonville, Florida. So tomorrow, please, ma'am, please, sir, make sure you are in place to get that free backpack. There are going to be some free laptops that are given away as well, so you don't want to miss that, and we'll talk more about that. But in light of some of the most current events, I've not had a chance to talk to you all. Excuse me. Um, I'm just to be honest with you guys. I am realizing how human I am, and it has gotten tough for me to just be human. There are certain things that I experience, that I face. I'm used to bouncing back pretty quick, but some of the most recent events that have transpired in my life has caused me a lot of pain, and I am just taking my time trying to get healthy. I am in my word. I am, of course, losing weight as well. I'm doing a total detox, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So I ask for your continued prayers. I won't lie to you. This transition has not been easy in my life. I take it one day at a time. But at the same time, I take these days trusting God, believing God, and I know that it's going to get better. But there's just some things I've got to walk out, and I've found out that some things just take time. So I've not been on my lives, and I've had to pull back from a lot of different things, primarily so I can focus on building myself, my family. And I just ask that you all pray for me. Thank you for your love, your support. Um, we are on Sony now. We're there. I give you the information before the information is on, so you can see us on the Sony network, the streaming network. It's found on a number of streaming services, but the main one that is Sony empowered. Sony owns it. It's XOD, also PGN, and I'll give you that information before we log off. I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank A Taste of Miami, 1440 Dunn Avenue, the best vegan menu, the best seafood, and the best food that you're going to get in Jacksonville. I'm telling you, it's at A Taste of Miami. Also, when you go there, don't forget to get your CMOS. That CMOS is imperative. You're sending these kids back to school. You're going back to work. The world has opened back up. You need a healthy immune system. The CMOS attacks the mucus that is in the body. The mucus is responsible for 97% of all of our diseases. It comes from the mucus that sets in our body. The CMOS attacks the mucus. It also protects you from sickness and disease, helps build up your immune system, and it flushes the wrong stuff out of your body. So make sure you're doing that. I also want to thank My sponsor, Crazy Beans Coffee, the best coffee on this side of the world, is at Crazy Beans. You can find it in Flaming Island. Listen to this. Not only are you gonna be able to get Crazy Beans Coffee in Flaming Island on 220, there is an opening coming soon. I'll tell you more about that in the JTA building downtown. Crazy Bean Coffee. So you definitely want to be involved in that. It is black owned also. I do want to thank B for Life Coaching Enterprise. Largely in part, some of the information that I need, some of the things that I go through in life. B for Life is responsible for inciting the wisdom that I believe that God has stored in me to come alive in my time of need. So I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank all of you that continue to make Coffee Time a success. It is a success because you show up. It is a success because you support it financially. If you would like to contribute, if you would like to become a monthly sponsor, there's our information right here. It's Sponsor Coffee Time on the Cash app. It's tpicketmusic@gmail.com for PayPal. I want to thank my sponsors and thank you. Thank all of you that have been rocking with me or hanging in there with me even through turbulence time. So I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful to be here this morning. So let me jump on. My niece is on this morning, Nazar Reddick. We're going to do something special for Nazar on the behalf of the Jacksonville Dream Center, which I still own. I'm still in charge. We still doing great things in our community. The little bro is on. DJ Oxygen. What up, bro? Chris Stafford, the nephew, is on. What up? So let's do our good mornings here. Gary Harvey, that was a good session on last night. Those of you, Gary Harvey has a live. He also has a podcast. Make sure you follow him, support him. He spoke on some great truths on last night. I shared it to my page. He was talking about stewardship, so make sure you check that out when you get a chance. Also, Cassandra Williams Davis, who's one of the owners, her and her husband, Melvin. Melvin is the one that does the work. Anyway, they own A Taste of Miami. Make sure you stop by and support them. Teresa Bryant, good morning to you. Cassandra, thanks for sharing. Sean Brooks, good morning. Stephanie Brooks, good morning. Make sure you all invite somebody, share. Tell them we're about to go live. We're talking about women help men find their place. It's going to get ugly. So I need you to share this with somebody, invite somebody on. Tina White McPherson, good morning. Nazar Reddick, love you so much. Proud of you. Good morning. Your uncle going to be sending you something today. Yeah, we're gonna send you something today, tomorrow. Tanya Murphy, good morning. Angela Ford, good morning. Good morning to everybody that is on. If I did not call your name, please don't blame me and don't blame the rain. Blame social media. If you say something to me, I'll be able to communicate back with you. If you have questions, statements while I am talking, please join us in this conversation. You can post your questions, your statements, and I will put them on the screen so we can address those things as we go along. Is that good? All right, I'm ready to get in this because so with how do I want to say this? With Biden's pick for the vice president nomination, Kamala Harris, there's been a lot that has been said. Of course, whenever you are brought to the spotlight, you've been in the spotlight, or you are going to be in one of the most prestigious as well as powerful positions in the world, you're going to catch it from all sides. And Kamala Harris is catching it. She's catching it from all sides. What's shocking and more surprising to me is how, let me talk directly to you, you coloreds, is how you black folk do each other. I want to start out with a post that I made on yesterday with the sheriff that was arrested in Clay County. The Clay County sheriff was arrested for an ongoing affair that he had with a young lady. Not only Was it an affair that went on for years? He used his position, his power, as well as his badge to put pressure, to bully, and to cause that young lady to lose a job and really, really suffer. So I wanna clear this up. When you black and you wrong, you still wrong. All right. And someone said, "How is it that you have such a voice and you promote blackness and black people, but now you're being a part of the problem?" Well, according to him, he's not black. I want to be clear in this. When we were and still are chanting, black people are being killed at an alarming rate, and we are fighting for justice. We are fighting for equality. Anybody that does not join us in this fight is a part of the problem. I don't care what color you are. You can be black, white, blue, green. You can look like an M&M or a Skittle. You can be shaped like a book bag or a phone case. If you are not a part of the solution, you are a part of the problem. And if you all remember the press conference that the dear little cowboy wearing hat sheriff had in Clay County, that there would not be any protests, no Black Lives Matter, and all lives matter. It came out of his mouth just a few months ago. Because some of us rise to power, we rise to fame, we get a little position, and we think we are them. Let me help you. You're not, and they're going to show you eventually. Yeah, they're going to show you. And this young man, in my opinion, just from what I've seen, in my humble opinion, he either hates his heritage, doesn't support his heritage, or he values the position more than he does who God's created him to be. So him going down is fruit of his own problem. I didn't do it to him. It's all over the news. So I'm not a part of the problem. I'm a part of the solution. When you have your own, that will not help you. All right, I'm moving on from that. So, with Biden's pick, Kamala Harris, she has done some things in her past, and I'm not going to just say, we got to forget about that and move on. No, your past helps shape your present. Your present tells us what you're going to do in your future. However, I will not to defend her, because I don't think her record needs a defense as it relates to her being qualified for the job. And this ties into my topic this morning. As it relates to her being qualified, she's more than qualified to be the vice president. As it relates to her incarcerating black men and giving them harsh sentences. Well, first of all, she could not give a sentence that the system had not already outlined and created. There are two things I want to bring to you, and I'm not going to stay here too long because I want to get to the meat of my topic. Kamala Harris was wrong. Anybody that throws the book for weed, the crime of marijuana, what they're legalizing now, they were throwing the book. She was a part of that system that was throwing the book at black men, incarcerating them at an awfully high rate. She's wrong. There is no justification for that. None at all. And I'm not going to try and make her wrong right. She was wrong. She also acknowledged she was wrong. She also tried to right her wrongs. She also tried to be a part of a system to undo some of the things that had been done that was initiated by the system, perpetrated by her. And she's done her best to right that wrong. Should we forgive her? Well, do you want forgiveness? I'm going to tell you something else that y'all don't want to hear. Y'all going to have to forgive Trump too. Yeah, he's a nuisance. I've never seen, forget a president. I know very little men that can't master a complete sentence. And as wrong as he is, we're going to have to exercise forgiveness towards him. You can't pick and choose who you choose to forgive. Forgiveness is for everybody. I don't care what their wrong is. And as much as we detest him and his little pinch puppy, we got to forgive them people. We can stand on the side of, I am not in harmony, neither am I in agreement with what you are doing, how you are acting, and where you've taken this country. I'm not in agreement with how you've disrespected every nationality of people that make up the human race. I am not in harmony, neither am I in agreement with how you treat women. Not. And for that, I do believe that there are some things in the earth, some penalties, some repercussions, if you will, that he should face. But let me help y'all out. Trump, Pence, Kamala Harris, Biden, nobody's that important in my life where I'm going to raise them and their issue above my heart. No, I don't like what they do, but I'm not holding nothing in my heart against nobody. And I advise you do the same. So even while we are seeing things being unpacked before our eyes in terms of government, you're going to have to be careful that you don't harbor unforgiveness and bitterness in your heart in regards to anybody. Now, as it relates to where we are as a country, there's two sides to this. I talked about this yesterday in my car. You know, you got Democrats who believe that if you don't choose Democrat, you're wrong. You got Republicans that believe if you don't choose their party, you're wrong. Both sides are sick. Both sides are full with sick people. And sometimes we pledge allegiance to the party and we oblige truth. Truth doesn't need a cover. That's why it's called the naked truth. Doesn't it? It stands on its own 2 feet. And I believe that we should stand on the side of the truth. No matter who's right, no matter who's wrong, I'm for the truth. It could be my mama, my daddy, my sister, my brother, my niece, my nephew. It can be grandma and them, Pookie, and whoever else. When it comes to truth, I want to be found on that side. So if the truth exposes wrong, even to someone that's near and dear to my heart, so let it be. I pray for mercy. If the truth exposes my wrong, so let it be. I pray for mercy, but so let it be. Truth is truth. And we cannot manipulate truth because of our heart towards parties or people. Some of us, we love blackness so much that we've risen or raised blackness above our own faith. Now I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be a black man. I am proud to be who God has made me. But I'm not raising nothing against my faith. Black power, Black Lives Matter. I fight for justice on all levels. I believe in equality, but I'm not raising it above my faith. It's not my God. But I do want to stay in harmony and in sync with equality for all mankind. I'm not even going to raise our oppression, our desire for equality on all levels. I'm not even going to raise that to a point where it becomes the highlight of who I am. I'm a king's kid, and my royalty speaks louder than my color or even my seat and position. I believe there should be equality. I do not believe men ought to be, black men should be killed at an alarming rate, especially when 70% of all crime that is done in America is done at the hands of white men. It's wrong. And I'll say that till I die. It's wrong. But the issue doesn't control me. I use my voice as an opportunity to raise it in regards to the issue, because I think there needs to be more conversations and actions into giving us what we're due. We're not asking for anything any different than what you're doing for any other nationality of people. But even the cause is not my God. I trust God the Father, Jesus the Son, and the Comforter, the Holy Spirit. If you ever want to know where I stand, that's going to always be my position. But you can't tell me you love this God and you are okay with treating people any kind of way. Now, when it comes to Kamala Harris, I'm shocked at some of you black Negroes. Whether you agree with her policies, whether you agree with her past, okay, she doesn't identify herself as black. Whether she identifies it or not, she's black. Some people say, well, now she's want to identify with her culture because she needs the black vote. Why does that matter? Listen, I will vote for a frog and an alligator to be president in exchange for what we got going on now. I am tired of the last 4 years have been nothing but Sesame Street. And it's time to make a change. Now, women help men find their place. This is the root of the matter right here. I think what Biden did was great and smart. I think it was strategic and intelligent. First of all, let me just give it to you on the surface. It's just surface talk here. And then I'm going to dig a little deeper. I don't know a man that's winning anywhere where some woman is not responsible for the win. I'll wait. Tell me otherwise. Jacqueline Meadows Brown, good morning. The little bro is on, Irvin Jones. Y'all keep praying with him, praying for him. That's my dude. Make sure you follow him. I don't know any man anywhere that has experienced, tasted any level of success in any area without the aid, the help, and most time the work of a woman. Prove me wrong. When America was trying to get to space, when America was trying to get into space, they had all of the technology, they had the money, they had white folk on every level, and there were 4 black women who completed the mathematical equation that was necessary in order for that rocket to take off and go into space. Women have been deprived in history of rights, equality, and pay. We will pay a man more money. Now, this is your country, America. We will pay men more money because they are men than just giving the woman what's due to her. Why is that? Because we're sexist. We're hypocritical. We're demeaning of women. And I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame that what America and the world have done to women. To bring it even more closer to home, I think it's wrong how we do black women. We use black women as the poster child for sexism and sex. And the only picture a black woman gets a good role for is when she's taking her clothes off in a movie. Halle Berry, all of the films that she had done, all of the movies she had done. When does she get an Oscar? When she takes her clothes off in Black Ball, which is nothing short of a pornography or pornographic scene. And this is how we honor the black woman. America hates her, and I'm going to tell you why. We devalue her, and I'm going to tell you why. But what's more sad is when black people start hating black women. Negro what? So let me give you, I'm going to give you something you can take and you can do what you want to do with it. If you're going to be successful, experience success, if you're going to complete the purpose that God placed in you, you will not be able to do it without the aid, the help, assistance, and most time the lead and guide of a woman. The woman has something that God put in her that he did not give the man. I'm going to give it to you. I promise you. I'm going to give it to you. The woman has something special in her that men do not have. In fact, God looked at man and called man incomplete because man did not have the woman. Everything that God created, he created and he called it good. That's Genesis chapter 1. Everything he created, he called good. But when it came to the woman, when he pulled her out of the man, the Bible says, and she was very good. The only time we get very good out of creation is when God creates that woman. Now, how is man good? Creation is good, but the woman is very good because the woman is the highest creature, the highest human in humanity. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Hang in there with me. Invite a few people. Invite them Negroes that devalue women, disrespect women. Invite the people that have a problem with women, especially black women, because I'm going to unpack it this morning. And I'm going to show you why black women are hated. And I'm going to show you why women are treated unfairly, not only in America, but around the world. My cousin is on. I'm telling you, she looks just like she's my mom's sister. My big cousin is on. Abigail Dixon Zanders. What's up, cuz? Good to see you. Reggie McGriff, what's going on? Paula Tarver, I agree with you, what you're saying. Lord help us all. So let me tell you why the woman is devalued. Let me tell you why. It's the same principle as to why black people are devalued. The reason black people catch hell, not just in America or around the world, it's not so much the skin tone as much as it is the placement and the order of God's creation. Well, science will tell you, I'm not even going to come from Bible, I'm going to come from science. Science will tell you that the bones of the first man and woman, according to science, was found in Africa. Science will tell you that life began in Africa. If life began in Africa, then life wasn't white. Every color, every race comes from the black race. So in origin, in creation, when God started everything, God started his work in Africa. There's a certain place that Africa has in the heart of God that is not expressed with any other country, nationality, or even species of people. There's something that God did in Africa. So there's a placement. It's proven that humanity comes from the black man and the black woman. That is not for us to raise the race card in terms of making us better. No, it's position, it's placement. It's education for us to know that the reason we are hated is because we were first. Let you think about that for a second. Abigail, I love you too. That's my big cuz, y'all. When I tell you she has 2 kids that are just geniuses, Evelyn and Philip, they're geniuses in their own right. I talk about my family all the time, but listen, the matriarch of our family is Abigail's mother, which is my Auntie Abby. I have a nickname that my people call me. We're not going to talk about it here, but every time I call my aunt and I tell her that this is Terry or this is Terrence, she called me by my nickname to remind me who I really am. So when it comes to black people are hated because of the position that God established in the earth, and that is black is first. Everything comes from black. So this is why the history in the United States undoes everything that God did. I'm going to show you how hypocritical America is. America has built her law, her constitution, her principles on the laws of God, the Bible. If you look at your constitution, if you look at your laws, it's the same thing it mirrors the Bible. The only problem is America has been good about positioning truth to mirror the Bible, but they've been poor about exercising the truth that they wrote, and that they say they believe. So America has done everything that it could, everything in its power, to undo originality, the origin of mankind, and to cause us believe that it's pale. God is a God of color. You don't believe he is? He made man from the dust of the ground. The reason black people are first, look at the clay. Now, when it comes to the black woman and this hierarchy of creation, the black man is the father, the black woman is the mother. Listen, so when God created Adam, I'm just going to give you plain Bible. When God created Adam, he said these words, it's not good that man should be alone. Now, man had creation. Man was here by himself. And God looks at man. He says it's not good that man should be alone. That word alone is anthropomorphic. It's trying to get a spiritual truth to basically simplify it or bring it down to a natural understanding. It's anthropomorphic. And that word is not good for man to be alone. It's not alone as in lonely. It's not even alone as being by itself. It's literally all one. Man was so perfect in his creation that everything that God had, he invested in the man, including his own wind. He blew into man, and man became a living soul. So everything that was in God was in the man, and man was so perfect. He was so in harmony with the retrospect and the conception of who God was, man is. God had given everything to the man, and as a result of what he created it so perfect until it didn't need nothing. It didn't even need God, because everything that the man needed, God put in him. What made the man perfect wasn't just who the man was in stature, but it was everything that God had placed inside of the man. God never named man, man, and woman, woman. God never named man Adam, and he never named Eve, Eve. When he named Adam, he was talking to both of them. Genesis chapter 1, you see that the woman was inside of the man. Genesis chapter 2, he brings her out from the man. In other words, if as perfect as man was in creation, man could not multiply himself to become more until God reached inside of the man to pull the better man out. And I need you to hear this. God never named Eve, Eve. He did name Eve Adam. Adam and Eve, name from the beginning, was Adam. It means fortress. It means foundation. It means father and mother. Listen, in order for man, because according to scripture, we were created in his image and after his likeness. So not only did we look like him, we had the intestinal fortitude that mirrored the insides of God. Well, God is both male and female. That is why the makeup of man, you have X and Y chromosomes, and depending on the gender, kind of determines Where the X is going, the Y's go. To be more feminine, that means you have more Y's than X. But the X and Y is in humanity. Every man has woman in him, and every woman has man in her. Why? Because in the eyes of God, they were one. When God dealt with both of them, when he talked to both of them, even in the garden, after they had eaten of the tree, and I have to unpack what that really means. I know y'all think, I won't get into it, but there's a lot of explaining to do about that tree of knowledge. But when God calls, when he says, Adam, where art thou? He's not just talking to the man. And I know you've heard in your little Sunday school classes that the reason he called Adam is because Adam is who he gave the law to. No, he gave it to both of them. In the eyes of God, man and woman are equal. Now, when it comes down to some of your process, contemporary King James versions of the Bible, there are a lot of things that are missing. If you go back to the original King James, you're going to find out that there was one name when it came to humanity. When it came to the male and the female, there was one name, and it was Adam. God dealt with one name because he was dealing with one person. Let me give you this. The reason the woman has the key to helping the man find his place and shine in purpose is because she sees everything that's in him. She knows more about him than he knows about himself because her position was inside of him. When God created Eve, he didn't create her. He didn't. There are two terms that are used in creation. One term is created. The other term is formed. He created Adam, put the woman inside of him, but when he pulled the woman out of her, he formed her. That term in Hebrew, the rib, that y'all be yelling about, prime rib and all this cute stuff, it's probably good for preaching, but it's bad theology. The rib literally means pieces of the man. So what God did in construction is when he pulled the woman out, he took pieces of the man to construct, to form the woman. So the best part of the man is the woman because she knows the ins and out and has the wisdom on how he flows. So you're not going to have success without the right woman. I'll wait. One of the best things Biden could have done with his crooked self is got a woman, especially a black woman, because it mirrors what God started from the beginning. I got an appointment at 11 o'clock. You got to tune in to part 2 of this. You got to tune in to part 2 of this. But part 1 is the reason women are disrespected. Let me tell you where they're disrespected at. In every part of life, women are disrespected in the school, in corporate America, in the house, on the street. Oh, and here's the one that should be the most shamed. The church. Let me tell you what I've noticed in church. You have two type of men in the church. You have this, and men represents kingdom mindset as it relates to humanity. So men have this mindset. There are men that believe in women preachers, women pastors, women leaders. There are men that do, and then there are men that don't. But even in the men that do, they only believe a woman can lead when the man is present. And I've studied the church for a long time. I'm a student of the church. I'm a child of the church. And the thing that bothers me is that we will license women to preach, but we won't let them preach on Sunday like we will a man. We will license a woman to lead, but some kind of way she never makes it from out of the prayer group or out of the media room. Why is that? Because we're sexist even in our faith. I'm going to say something. It's going to shock a lot of y'all. But even the Bible is sexist. Because in the culture of that time, they didn't even appreciate women the way that they should have. But when the Bible talks about man, it's not talking about Adam, it's talking about creation. So let me tell you why women are special. Women are the only species, group of people, that can tell you what's inside of the man. A man cannot even testify of himself because a man didn't live inside of a man. A woman lived inside of the man. While she was there, she got an opportunity to see functionality, how the body works, how the mind works. She was alive in him. She was not in some comatose state when God called her out. No, she was the source of his living. And the only men that will disagree are the men that I'm talking about right now that are sexist. When I look back over my life, when I look at the wisdom that has been imparted in me, when I look at the understanding of Scripture, when I look at the greatest teachers that I've had, some of the greatest teachers that I had were men, listen, who had women who were better than them. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is why the world and creation has done everything within her power to discredit, devalue, and suppress, oppress, and depress the woman. Why? Because she's the best part of creation. What humanity has done to the woman, America has done to black people. It's the same thing, y'all. I don't have a problem with the LGBT community at all. I believe you can love whoever you want to love. Who you love is between you and God, and everybody else ought to stay out. But I do not believe that LGBTQ should have more rights than black people or more advantages than women. Because society will side with anything so that it does not have to give God's order the credit that it deserves. If you're going to lead, if you're going to be great, you better be connected to a woman. When God comes back, listen to what God calls, when the Bible starts referring to her through Scripture, when it starts saying she, it undresses the she, and when we see pulling the clothes off and exposing who she really is, it's talking about wisdom. It calls wisdom a her. What does that say to me? You can't be wise without a woman on your side. And when we dumb everything down, the first voice and the first heartbeat you ever hear is that of your mother. The last voice and heartbeat that you hear when you die is yourself. What you heard when you're coming in is mirrored when you're going out. That's the beauty of a woman. She's the beginning of life. And the reason our world is absent of life is that they are absent of the proper placement of the woman. We will not win until the woman assumes her proper place that God established before time. And I know there are a lot of men that are going to watch this and try and pick it apart, and they're going to throw scriptures and stuff in it. Here's what I want to ask you. Before you go with your theology, your psychology, before you throw all of that at me, I want to ask you something. Who birthed you? Unless you are a test tube baby or a science project, you came from a woman. And you knew her before you knew him. Stop discrediting the woman. If we're going to win, She has to be put back in her proper place. When Paul starts telling the woman, be subject to your own husband, that is a misinterpretation. And many of us have the wrong understanding that the woman is supposed to submit. You do what I say now. Stay there. Stay there till I bring. That's not how that goes. When he tells the woman to submit to the man, here's what he's really telling her. Go back and gain your place of where God placed you. Submission is a courteous yielding. The woman was inside the man, yielding to the man while she instructed him. I ain't playing with y'all. Y'all ain't ready for me today. I'm going to finish this. There's a part 2 and a part 3. I may do it tomorrow and Sunday. I may do it later on today. I've got an appointment that I'm already going to be late to. Here's what I need you to know, women. Every man that has discredited you shows his weakness and his ignorance. Because if he really knew who God created him to be, he would understand he cannot lead without you. Now, when Paul addresses preaching, when Paul addresses leadership, he never calls the woman. He doesn't. He doesn't. And I got the answer on why. One of the reasons why is you don't have to call who's always there. When we talk about God's going to show up, God's going to heal your daddy, God going to heal you. Father, we ask that you go to the hospital and do this. Okay, we speak in colloquialisms. It's like saying hello and what's up. When I ask you what's up, it's figurative. It's not literal. I don't really mean for you to start calling out the ceiling in the sky. No, it's the language, modern day vernacular changed. What's up? It's the same thing as hello. So when Paul says he must be the husband or one wife, and he's talking about the man's qualification for leadership, he never touches on the woman. You know why? She don't need to be confirmed because she was in him. And in order for him to become what God's created him to be, she has to get back to where God placed her. Not under his feet, not behind him. Behind every good man is a good one. Nope, that's not where God placed her. If you look at creation, there's 2 places. In spirit, the man is the foundation. He is what we build on. So the man can't be next to the woman if he's the foundation. If the man is to mirror who God is, God says who I am to the man must be to the woman. God is our foundation. He's the solid rock. So we're not equal with him because he laid down his life as the foundation so he could build the church. The church is built off of him. So in actuality, proper placement, if we're going to go back to originality, the origin of things, the man should be laid down and the woman should be standing up. That erection of the temple, it's the same erection that we have in the sexual organ of the man. That erection represents something. Ooh, y'all ain't. You won't get this in your little Sunday school classes, in your little churches that suppress women. And they limit you to one realm of existence. And you can't flourish or grow outside of where they place you like they God. God, when God created you, girl, he saved the best for last. You're the only thing in creation that God said was very good. Don't you let some man, some Negro demean what God has ordained. God has exalted you. Take your place. That's call for time. Thank y'all for joining me. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Listen, I can't do this without your help, without your support. If you would like to sow a seed, if you would like to become a monthly sponsor, it's on the screen. You see it right there? Sponsor call for time. I'm going to unpack this some more because I believe we're not going to get back inequality until the woman takes her rightful place. And it is not under the man. It is not beside the man. It is not behind the man. It's in the place of control with the man. You can't win without her. Sponsor call for time. You were born to win, predestined to succeed. Listen, Without your ear, I don't have a voice. You make this possible. I need your seed. I do. I need you to help me to continue. We're behind budget this month. I believe it's going to be all right. But I need you to sow today. If you are a sponsor or you would just like to sow into what was said, do so. Cash App, sponsor Coffee Time. Listen, you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you that the wisdom that God refers to as a her inside of you can't handle. In order for wisdom to reign, you got to calm down, slow down, be quiet, and let wisdom speak. When wisdom speak, her, she, you will always win. Go have a productive day, and remember, a man ain't nothing without a woman. If you don't believe me, who gave birth to you? Have a great day, and always remember to think higher. Speak life. Peace out. A-Town. Doo-doo, doo-doo.